Have you ever noticed how certain places that once seemed common now cause an inexplicable exhaustion? It's as if, upon crossing the threshold of a supermarket or entering a crowded bus, your energy field immediately shrinks, like an instinct for protection. This isn't social anxiety. It's not being overly sensitive. It's vibrational overload. What once went unnoticed is now captured with intensity. You're not becoming more fragile. You're becoming finer, more sensitive, more precise. Your aura is refined, and the noises that once slipped by now collide with force. Every place carries frequencies, and these environments full of haste, distraction, and dense thoughts are emitting waves that conflict with your clean field. Artificial lights, repetitive sounds, other people's emotions, all of this accumulates like a heavy fog that you absorb, but not out of weakness. Rather, because your sensitivity has ceased to be a shield and has become a radar that can no longer be ignored. This discomfort is your system's way of alerting you. Your spiritual body is saying, this is not a place to stay. Therefore, the impulse to avoid certain places is not a block. It's a form of wisdom. It's as if your own field is trying to guide you through invisible shortcuts of energetic protection. Have you ever felt sudden headaches when entering malls? Immediate sleepiness when near certain people? An urgent desire to leave places without a rational reason? All of these are alert codes. Your presence can no longer be just anywhere. It needs to be respected. It's as if your spirit already knows that every vibrational exposure leaves a mark, a trace, an opening. And for that reason, it calls you to strategic retreat. Honor this. Honor your discomfort. It is the new language of your protection. You're not just taking refuge at home, you're being called to consecrate your space. Your home has ceased to be a physical point and has become a living extension of your spiritual field. Every wall now reverberates with your frequency. Every corner holds an echo of your silence. Every object, even the most common, carries the magnetism of what you are building in the invisible. Your home is not an escape. It is an altar. There's a reason why you feel better there. Why the world outside seems to steal your energy, while your home gives you back breath. It's because the environment you've created is attuned to your energetic mission. You may have started to notice details, the position of the furniture, the light entering through the window, the silent presence of plants, the subtle touch of crystals, the aroma that calms your nervous system. None of this is random. Everything has become a symbol. Everything has become a sign. Your home has come to function as a realignment chamber. There your thoughts organize into clearer spirals. Your feelings find a voice. Your body rests differently, because in that space, your soul doesn't need to defend itself, it can expand. And in this process, your house transforms into a subtle technology, a temple that amplifies your silent prayers, a mirror that reflects your essence without distortions. The silence that hangs in the air is not an absence of sound. It is the presence of the sacred. It is the interval where the invisible whispers directions. It is the exact scenario where your spiritual reconstruction is being coded. And every time you light a candle, organize an altar, breathe with intention, or simply observe the twilight light hitting the wall, your temple responds. It hears you. It molds itself to your vibration. You are reconsecrating your world, and it begins with the four walls that shelter you. This is not a time for exposure. It is a time for consecration. And the first place chosen for this was your home. You are not alone. There is an invisible multitude of awakened beings who, like you, have disappeared from the common scene. They vanished from social media, distanced themselves from gatherings, stopped being where they always were. And it wasn't out of surrender. It was out of a silent calling. There is a strategic withdrawal happening on the subtle plane. The guardians of frequency, the bearers of refined light, have been called inward, not out of fear of the world, but out of mission. This absence is not emptiness. It is gestation. The most sensitive, the most connected, those who carry subtle codes in their fields, have been temporarily hidden, because the noise outside became too loud, because the energies became entangled, because the collective field needed space for detoxification, and those who sustain light needed to be preserved. You are one of them, even if you don't see yourself as such. even if you feel tired, confused, on pause, even if you think you're doing nothing. In fact, your absence is function. Your absence is clearing noise. Your absence is restoring your internal compass for when it's time to return. The world doesn't realize it yet, but those in silence are those who are refining themselves. And when everything changes, because it will change, it will be these withdrawn guardians who bring the new maps. It's no coincidence that you can no longer fit into old routines, that what once was natural now feels forced, that your body reacts to the slightest emotional noise. Your soul is operating at a different pace. You are out of social time, but within spiritual time. And that changes everything. This withdrawal is not giving up. It's repositioning. The Spirit is training you for future missions that don't fit into current logic. That's why you feel like you've disappeared. But the truth is, you are preparing, camouflaged, as guardians always have been. And when the right time comes, your frequency will be powerfully reactivated. But for now, silence. Silence and honor. Because what is born in the hidden carries the seal of eternity. You cross the door of your house, and within minutes, something changes. A subtle pressure settles in your head. Your chest begins to feel heavy. Your body seems to lose its lightness. Tiredness emerges like a causeless fog. But there is a cause. It's just not visible. It's vibrational. What you are feeling are subtle attacks, interferences that hit the field before they hit the body. And because your field is more sensitive, more open, more attuned, it picks up everything. These attacks are not personal. They are collective. They are dense fields carried by mass thoughts, by untreated pains, by emotional conflicts that hang in the air like invisible smoke. And when you, with your clean and refined field, enter these places, the contrast is immediate. What is normal for others is noise, weight, distortion for you. Because you feel, because you perceive, because your inner radar is on. And this is a blessing, but also a responsibility. Your spiritual body reacts first, long before the rational mind interprets. That's why you avoid certain places without being able to explain why. That's why your system shuts down near certain people. That's why you start to yawn, feel exhausted, or even nauseous when entering certain environments. It's not social fatigue. It's vibrational interference, and it needs to be recognized as such. Protecting yourself is not selfishness. It's energetic wisdom. You are being called to use invisible shields, cleansing rituals, silent prayers, internal affirmations, herbal baths, light visualizations, conscious pauses, because your sensitivity is a sacred instrument, and if it's not carefully tuned, it starts to pick up what isn't yours. You are not weak for feeling too much. You are attuned. And the attuned ones don't play just anywhere. They choose the environment, the time, the right moment to emit sound. You are an instrument in tuning, and therefore you need to care for your silence as one cares for a rare jewel. You look around and it seems everyone is going fast, going far, going high. People publishing achievements, closing cycles, opening businesses, traveling the world. And you, still, silent, feeling as if you've been left behind. But this feeling, it's an illusion created by timelines that were not made for your soul, because awakened beings do not operate in linear time, they operate in vibrational time. You are not late, you are being gestated, and this time of pause, of silence, of not visibly doing, is where your true leap is being built. Nature's deepest processes make no noise. The embryo makes no announcement. The seed does not post progress. The expanding universe sends no notifications. It simply is. It simply grows, in the dark, at the pace of truth. Your field is not still. It is accumulating. It is absorbing codes, integrating lessons, refining invisible structures that will be necessary when the external begins to move. It's like a bamboo. Years invisible underground, creating deep roots, to then grow meters in a few months. But it only grows because it remained in silence for as long as it needed to. Stop measuring yourself by others' rulers. Stop thinking you're doing nothing. What you are accomplishing on the subtle plane is immeasurable by ordinary eyes. Your energy is preparing for something that demands vibrational maturity. And this maturity is only gained in retreat, in listening, in surrender. You are not late. You are in resonance with a higher, vaster, truer time. And when the right cycle opens, what seemed like a delay will be recognized as preparation. Until then, trust the invisible. It is more attentive to your path than any human clock. We live in an era that has canonized doing. Movement has become synonymous with value, productivity, an invisible medal that many rush to display. But there is a fallacy in this cult of incessant action. It forgets that the invisible also works, that silence also operates, that spiritual realignment, though invisible to external eyes, moves internal worlds with absolute power. You are not standing still. You are being relocated by the Spirit. Every day you silence, observe, reflect, cleanse, recode. You are allowing something much greater to reprogram itself within you. It is not a time for prominence. It is a time for polishing. You are receiving codes that do not come through words, but through subtle pulsations, dreams, intuitions, symptoms, perceptions. All this silent movement is your true construction. The narrative of, you have to be doing something all the time is an energetic trap, because it disconnects you from listening, because it forces you to act when, in reality, your soul asks to feel, and you already know. Acting outside the right time is vibrational sabotage. You don't need to perform presence. You need to sustain truth. And at this moment, your truth is forming within, not outside. Don't blame yourself for being absent from social media, for not replying to all messages, for not having ready answers to questions that no longer make sense. Your soul is doing something else. It is writing a new chapter, without noise, without an audience, without pressure. It is being faithful to your frequency, not to others' expectations. Real alchemy does not happen under spotlights. It happens in the shadows of the invisible, where the inner light rekindles. And that is exactly where you are, in the sacred interval where what is eternal takes shape. And when everything seems still, remember, stillness also builds. Not all days carry the same vibrational weight. There are dates that, to the eyes of the world, seem trivial, but for the attuned, they are portals. August 1st and 2nd are like this. A silent cycle opens on these days, almost imperceptible to the common eye, but absolutely clear to those who walk with their field attuned. If you felt restlessness, changes in sleep, strange dreams, or even an inexplicable peace, you are picking up the call of this energetic checkpoint. It's not about an external event. It's about an internal adjustment, a silent realignment that repositions your soul on a new axis of action. As if the universe whispered, now. But this now is not to run, but to listen, to stop, to receive. Because what will be released will not come through words or instructions. It will come as a feeling, a vibrational code that installs itself without logical explanation, but with absolute spiritual clarity. This is a time to choose silence with intention, to diminish external noise and allow the invisible to speak. If you can, consecrate these days. Take care of your home as if it were a temple, even more than usual. Meditate in presence. Ground yourself. Connect with your breath as if it were an antenna. This cycle will not pass with fanfare, but it will leave marks on those willing to feel. What will be revealed in these days will be subtle. It may come as a chill in the middle of a thought, as an old memory that resurfaces, as a desire to change something without knowing why. Trust. Your spirit will know how to recognize it. This is the moment of silent integration, fine-tuning, wordless listening. And remember, before we continue, if this message is making sense to you, take a moment to subscribe to the channel, like this video, and comment below. I am in realignment. This helps this energy reach others who also need to awaken. Have you ever felt guilty for not wanting to be where everyone else is? Have you ever forced yourself to accept invitations just to avoid seeming strange? Have you ever thought something was wrong with you for preferring silence to any noisy celebration? Well, know this. This preference is not isolation, it's preservation. Your soul knows. Your energy recognizes. You were not made to dissolve into the collective, but to guard a frequency that few can sustain. You are rare, and everything rare is preserved. Just as a jewel is kept under lock and key, your vibration needs to be protected. It's not about rejecting the world, it's about not being corrupted by its excess. It's about keeping your field clean enough to continue hearing what noise silences. Your value lies precisely in what you don't give to just anyone, in what you only share when you feel the environment supports your truth. This rarity is not pride, nor superiority. It is awareness. It is knowing that your energy, when activated at the right moment, is capable of realigning entire spaces. But if it is poured out prematurely, in places that do not recognize it, it disperses. And you feel this. You feel it in your body, in your soul, in the exhaustion that comes after an encounter where you had to shrink yourself. So yes, continue refusing what does not nourish you. Continue protecting your time, your peace, your home. Continue saying no without needing to justify. This is a sign that you are ceasing to mold yourself to the world and are finally molding the world to your frequency. You are not absent. You are guarded. And those who know how to wait for the right moment to appear are the ones who carry the true impact. If something within you has vibrated, echoed, recognized itself so far, then there is no doubt. This message was written for your frequency. It doesn't matter how many days you've spent in silence, how many times you've felt that no one sees you, or how many times you doubted if you were on the right path. The fact that you felt all this is proof that your spirit is awake, alive, in full transition. You are among those who were withdrawn not out of forgetfulness, but out of preparation. The world out there is accelerating, but you are attuned. While everyone chases noise, you are learning to decipher the whisper. While many expose themselves in search of validation, you are stripping away everything external to wear only what is true. And this, in itself, is a miracle. You are not running away. You are being aligned by the invisible. Every moment you retreated, every decision to protect your field, every moment you chose silence instead of distraction, all of this was a preparation. And now, your spirit begins to remember. You were never lost. You were being repositioned. When the right time comes, and it is coming, those who were hidden will be the first to see clearly, because your vision has already been purified. Your listening has already been activated. Your presence has already been calibrated. The world to come will need exactly what you carry, and what was once silence will be the language of the new. If this message touched your frequency, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and write in the comments, "I am in alignment with the invisible." Share it with someone who is silent but in preparation. This could be the call their spirit is waiting for.